Welcome to today's session. I thought I would show another way of starting the class. And that's like from laying down on the belly, another type of activations, but still finding that focus on the spine and then keep moving, finding the flow to then, I would like to share with you an abdominal sequence and the glutes because I always find, I myself practice that, so I added that to the traditional, if you want to call it so, synergy practice. So we're gonna first lay on the belly, move, and then all four, move, and then downward dog, move, and then I'm gonna show you abdominal sequence and the glutes sequence. These two last things, so they are inspired by my years in Pilates, but with a little twist. So Pilates is a lot about, pulling the navel in and be very controlled in the sense of tensing. But what I do is that I never pull in the navel towards the spine. I always relax it, so that for me now it is kind of automatic that the navel actually comes outwards. So that's what we're going to try to do and really try to make it feel good, because that's what I used to experience with Pilates. Of course you feel that, with time you get strong, but I also felt that it hurts my lower back so much. At a certain point I thought, is it even worth it? So let's make it feel good. So it's going to be sort of a Pilates with a synergy twist. Let's get going. Let's lay down on our belly. I'll take the other side. And now make yourself comfortable and really adjust it until it feels comfortable. You can have the head on the side, or you can have the hand the head on your hands. And just stay there a few breaths. Just land here. Feel your feet on the floor, knees heavy on the floor, the hips, the abdomen, the chest, shoulders, elbows and the hands. Head is heavy. Relax. Start now by observing where the breath is happening in your body. Without changing, just observe where, which body parts, which area. And now I invite you to breathe in from the nose, but always gentle, so we don't take like big breaths. It's always natural breath. And send the breath into your lungs and the rib cage, front, sides and back. So try to address front, sides and back when you breathe in. Feel in those areas. Passive breath out. Now send the breath to your abdomen, around the belly button, to your sides and the back. I really feel like you have like a balloon. Then you want to fill up on the breath in and then just passively breathe out. And for every breath in, you try to create even more space on the previous breath. It's like You want to expand your body, stretch your body through your breath. Front, sides and back. And now send your breath to the pelvic floor, so even lower down. And really visualize your pelvic floor as if you had a little basket in your hips, gathering, collecting that breath. And visualize the front, the sides and the back, and the bottom, our pelvic floor, the floor. Relax the muscles of the urinary tract, relax the muscles of the anus. Take now a few long breaths, horizontal, so from the nose, ascend the breath through the rib cage and abdomen and down into your pelvic floor. Fill up, fill up, fill up, and then just breathe out. And again, fill in. And passive breath out. Now from here, we're gonna start by doing a spinal waves, but laying down. And how we do that is that we still start from the hips. So the pubic bone wants to go downwards and the top of the hips towards the ceiling, which means that I start by doing this. So if I want to have a wave, if this goes down, then I'm starting to expand the abdomen by breathing in and making it bigger. So the sides are almost blowing up, they get bigger, and I press the navel out. And there's like two first movements where we want to start articulating this part of the spine. So first I press down the pubic bone and breathe into the abdomen and relax. And then again, 1 and 2. And as an effect, then the part of the shoulder, of the spine between the shoulder blades also starts moving. This is a very small movement, a very subtle movement. So don't worry if there's very little happening than you think, but actually there's a lot happening because we are moving the spine in a way that we're used to. But two things you should keep in mind while you're doing this is that it should not hurt. So I don't want to, end up here where it hurts. I always stay in a more neutral position, and I want to think of my spine as long. So I don't think arch, I rather think lengthening the spine. So actually here, I could almost walk as a worm because I'm lengthening. So I'm actually moving that direction. So just to give you an idea that the feeling is to lengthen. Now from here, find stillness, and in your own way, come to all four, where we're gonna start warming up the wrists. And that we usually do by, again, being on all four. Now I'm gonna turn around. You keep staying on all four. 10 fingers pressing down into the mat. All the 10 fingers. Little fingers to thumbs. Now lift up your thumbs. Lift up gently the palm of the hand. Remember that you are in all four. I now don't have space behind me, but you are in all four. You lift up the palm and then gently, slowly, with resistance, you go down. And again, up and down. I'm also going to go on all four. And lift up the thumbs. I lift up the palm and then slowly down. And then you do it 5 to 10 times, as much as you can, but really feel the muscles in the forearms activating. I usually always warm up my wrists when I have to be in all four with the push-ups, because my wrists are, they tend to be a little bit weak and one hurts, so it is vital, for instance, for me, to keep my wrists kind of strong and warm them up. Shake a little bit, flap, and round, so this. And then come to the middle, and then take that you want to have your hands in front of you or to the side, it doesn't matter, but just articulate sort of to the side. So the palm is flat, it's just going from side to side. And here you can feel that it's these muscles working. And forward and backward. And again, the fingers are sort of spread out. So I'm not, I don't know, what can you call them, banana hands? And they're not relaxed, they are active. And then draw circles. Out of the way. And relax. And now from here, squeeze. And really try to have the whole range of movement, all the way out, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in. And then you can sort of move a little bit, so then you always don't think that, oh my God, this is so hard. You can have the palms down. Sometimes it is a bit difficult to keep the coordination, but keep up. Relax the shoulder, relax the face, because sometimes you want to make all this grimace, but relax. And stop and shake, and then we go back onto all four. Sit bones. Want to go up and down a little bit. I want to isolate the lower back, so it's only the lower back, if possible, that's trying to move. Now, if we back up a little bit, remember that the 10 fingers are pressing down into the mat, and then the hands, they're pressing the mat away. So I'm not here, down and press away, so that I create space in between my shoulder blades. And I try to isolate the lower back only, and it's really very small movements. Side to side. Lower back only, hips only. Now we want to articulate the middle. Not the top, not the bottom, the middle. And take a few seconds for yourself to even think like, how exactly? Try to make this connection for yourself in your brain. And actually what's going on here is, I remember that the back part is the same as the same area, and we should consider one unit with the front. So if I want to move the back here, I need to articulate the rib cages. So the rib cage wants to sort of go outwards and inwards, outwards, and it's use the diaphragm. Relax. I sort of expand here and come in with the rib cage. Expand. Now we want to try to articulate the upper back. And then I usually articulate shoulder blades and shoulders. Now roll the shoulder forwards. And remember that when we stand, then we let the movement spread to the rest of the body. So what happens if here we start to do the weight again? So I want to send the sitting bones slightly up and back, but long. It's not this, okay? We're somewhere there. Long back, in and down with the sitting bones, and then forward again. And when you do this, it's very easy, you know, when you do cat and cow, to mostly articulate the lower back, so you're just arching. But what we want to do here is to really try to articulate the whole spine. So the lower, the middle, and the upper. While you're doing this, make sure that the fingers are pressing down. You're rolling the shoulders. You can bend the elbows. You can go back with the hips. Really just make it yours. Now from here you can explore circles. Then again, I try to have, instead of thinking arching, try to think long. So long and long. Can be so that your head can start spinning, so you don't have to move the neck and the head so much. Or maybe you can, but with your gaze, you can have your gaze sort of on the mat, on a fixed spot. And stop in the middle, toes in, and coming to downward facing dog. And then here, we want to draw 8s with our hips. Knees are bent, 10 fingers are pressing down and pressing the mat away so that the shoulders are wanting to reach the ears. And from here you can find stillness. And then again, a pubic bone towards the face, the top of the hips back. And then you sort of get even more round, 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 and come forward. And then this is a wave, but in a dog. And again, it can be just very tiny, you know, and just really make friends with this movement. But remember that you need the whole body, from the toes to your fingers. So make sure just that the whole body is in movement. And from here, come forward with the right knee and place it on the mat. The foot is flexed and I'm kind of pressing with my pinky into the mat. And the foot is pressing into the mat. Both feet are flexed and both knees are bent. From here, start seeing what kind of movements are accessible with your hips. It can be figure eight, it can be circles. But it's really that feeling of melting and creating space and freedom in the hips. Make sure that the lower back is also soft. And then let the rest of the spine move. Maybe the shoulder. And then come up to the downward facing dog, and then we do the other side. So left forward, bend both legs and flex both feet. And then again, we start seeing what movements are available. You can adjust to the legs, you know, you can also have a very tiny shape. So really just adapt whatever feels good for you. You can open up the diamond, you know, if your knees are hurting, adjust as usual. Abdomen is soft. And maybe I want to involve the spine in this movement without losing the hips. And from here, we have warmed up the body. Come again to all four. Great. All four. I'm going to turn the other side. All four. 10 fingers pressing down, hands are pushing the mat away. Eyes kind of round on my back, so I'm not arching. I want to have this top of the hips back up, pubic bone forward, in with the toes, and then I want to lift up my knees a little bit. It can be 1 centimeter, it can be 1 millimeter, whatever you can. And then stay there. Remember to push the mat away. The 10 fingers are always pressing down, so that you remove a lot of weight from the wrist. And you use the forearms muscles. Come down, relax, 2 seconds, then we come up again. Now, next time you go up, observe if you are pulling the navel in. If you are, relax it, see what happens. 10 fingers pressing down, hands pushing the mat away, in with the toes, up. relaxed. Now, because I am not pulling the navel in, my abdomen is active, but it's coming outwards, but it is active. I feel the work, and the best part is that I can speak without, without the stress, and I can breathe. I can breathe naturally. When I pull the navel in, I cannot do that because I block and contract the muscles that I actually use to speak and breathe. Yeah, relax. And one more time, last one. Fingers pressing down, hands pressing away. And again, around that back, rib cage in. And relax. Take a few breaths in child's pose. And then come on down onto your belly again. Now, we are going to start with gluteus, so butt training, if you want to call it so. My advice is that if it hurts, do less, do smaller, or do something else, okay? But if it hurts, go away from there or find a way that works. I'm going to show you first what we're going to do. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How this used to be very painful for me. It was of course like super good, but it would hurt my back so much. So now what I do is that I kind of elongate my spine. So I'm not here. I sort of press the pubic bone into the mat, and then I want to sort of get, the rest wants to go long, almost the rib cage, I want to open up and get longer. And after that, I continue breathing into the abdomen, but I never pull the navel in. The navel is outwards, okay? That does not create any tension, but gives support. That's what can protect your spine, but it's actually just supporting and creating space and activation rather than contracting. So that's what I do, and then I have my head on the mat, and then I find my heels, and then I kick 3 times up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The last 3 ones. Kick, 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 up, up, up. And relax. While I do this, I'm always pressing the pubic bone down, and I'm breathing into the abdomen. And really, you can adjust the space between the knees if that hurts, because sometimes it doesn't feel good in my knees, so I adjust. You can adjust where you kick. You open up, whatever feels good for you. If this is not accessible for you, skip it. You can adjust also how many times you do this. These 3 kick, 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 kick. And then with time you can just add more repetitions. The next exercise, I stand here like this. So I'm not here, but I'm in neutral position. And then I lean onto one side and stretch out. So I try to, okay, if it doesn't work, don't worry, but I try to have the hips forward. So top of the hips back and pubic bone forward. So I don't arch here, but I'm always in line. Then while I work with this leg, it happens that I sit back a little bit. It doesn't matter, but I still feel the work. So from here, we lift up and then we go touch forward and touch back. What's important here is that you really mark the up way and down, up and down. Now we take, say, 10, 2, 3, 4, soft but active. This side is active. Was it 5 now? 6, probably done 10 already. 7, it's always like that when you count. 8, 9, you don't need to point to the foot, okay? And 10. Now, what's also important is that if this feels like a lot and you cannot do 10, do 5, do 6, however you manage to do, but doing them well. So if you have to do 10 and they're like all wobbly and fast, it's better that you do less, but do slow and good. After these, I stay up here and then I try to draw small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I swap direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I come down. Again, if you cannot do 10, do less, as long as you do them well. Let's take the other side. I come up, top of the hips back, pubic bone forward, relax the abdomen, and come. So here the spine is kind of long, and here. So find a position that feels good for you, and then we start lifting up and then touch to the front and back, and it's 1. We do 10, 2, this time I will not lose count, 3, 4, 5, I'm not pulling the navel in, 6, so relax the abdomen, 7, was it 7? 8, 9, 10, come to the middle, readjust the position, relax the abdomen. You see it is soft, but as soon as I lift up, then here works, it's active. And then we do circles 8, or how many you can do on one side and then on the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come down. Now, when you're on that side position and it feels like very heavy for the neck, you can sort of lower the ear a little bit so that you come into a more natural position, because at the beginning it can feel quite heavy. Now, next thing that we're going to do is some side lifts and the back lifts of the legs from downward facing dog. So from here, I want to simply come up and make sure that the hips are squared and not sort of opening. 1, we do 10, 2, 3, with control up and control down, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We do the other side, other leg. So really plant that foot, press the toes down. If you need, you can bend, as long as you keep the hips centered, so you don't sort of kind of come to the side. So keep the sort of symmetric alignment. And we do 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, press the fingers down, 6, 7, press the mat away, 8, 9, 10. Good now. We're going to go up one more time, and now we're going to lift up the leg to the side. So from the dog, I place the sort of standing foot a little bit more in the middle, and then I lift up. And from here, just really lift up how much you can, and do it maybe 4 or 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change side. Fingers pressing down, push the mat away. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. And now we go to the other side again, because now we're going to try to draw circles with the legs. And again, it can be very small at the beginning, but at first to go back and up, and then out and down. Do 3 or 4. Because we also have to do the other direction. So now you want to go first out, up and down. Out, up and down. Out, up and down. 2 more if that's possible. Take the other side and other leg. I'm just going to turn around. We started with backing up and down. Now, you don't necessarily have to do it as big as I do, as long as you feel the work. Okay, these are very intensive. And when we do the sides, you really feel both sides while using one leg only. Take out, up and down, out, up and down. You can bend the knee on the other leg if you feel you need to. And come down. Come to child's pose. And roll up. And come to a seated position. Place feet on the mat, and then you can gently roll down. Now, from here, from this, we're going to do half sit-ups. And my invitation is, again, let the abdominal muscles do their work without pulling the navel in. Let them do their work. Don't interfere with your mind. So what I'm going to do now is that I want to come up halfway, but I don't pull the navel in. I let it stick out. Rib cage in. It's hard in the middle, but it's soft on the sides. That allows me to be able to breathe and talk naturally. I'm not stressing the body, so I'm not breathing into the rib cage, I'm breathing into the abdomen. Try a few. Hands. So remember that the back is flat on the mat, if possible. The pelvic floor is relaxed, and then we come up and down, and up and down. And just feel that, and maybe stay here now. Stay up and see what happens when you relax. Not relax, but when you don't pull in the navel. Come down. You can experiment with the hands and arms. And that's what we're really doing, just to get acquaintance with the fact of not pulling the navel in. Do a few more. And pause there. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to use the legs as a weight. So we're going to use the whole chain, the whole body. So I come from here. The abdominal in the middle is active, the sides are soft, and then I take one leg and then the other. 2, we're going to do 10, 3, 4, relax the shoulders, if possible relax the neck, 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, and 10. And relax, always go down with control. Don't rush or don't just smash your head on the mat. If you like, you can do the same thing but with straight legs. So I come up, and then here or here, you decide. Can be here. And now I didn't count, but I guess that's enough. Come down and bend and down. Now get a hold of your knees. Knees are pressing into the hands. Hands are pressing into the knees. Flat back on the mat. I'm breathing to abdomen, chest and neck. One more time. Abdomen, chest and neck. And from here I want to expand. Look first. I want to and down. And again, you don't have to be flat here. You can be up there. So whatever works for you. This is for me is actually more difficult than being down there. So do it 5 times at the beginning if you can, and more if you can, and less. Whatever works for you. So we start from knees into hands and hands into knees, flat back. Breathe into abdomen, chest and neck a few times. And then extend and relax. Extend and relax. Extend and relax. Hands on the mat again. And from here and out with one arm, hand down. Now I would like you to have one leg up, straight or not, it doesn't matter, but we're going to do side. Side. You can stretch out the leg, whatever works for you. And if this is too easy, then we can do this. So we add the elements. We do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Other side. We can start like this, and then we can add this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And from here we do one more thing. Place your feet on the mat. Feel the hips and sitting bones. Relax the pelvic floor, relax the abdomen. And from here we want to sort of roll up. I'm going to lift up my arms so you see. And roll down. In these rolls, what was really game-changing for me was that I was never able to really articulate the vertebra down here. It would always go sort of flat down. I couldn't. Until when I started relaxing the abdomen, because then you get that mobility that you cannot otherwise get, because it's like super hard. Of course you cannot move something that is hard. So your arms are here, but I'm gonna have it here. Relax the abdomen, pelvic floor, and start having sitting bones towards the floor, the ceiling, and gently roll up. Really feel that you're trying to reach all the vertebrae high up into the neck. While you maybe also breathe along the spine up. And then when you go down and rolling down again, relaxed. One vertebra at a time. And here I almost pull out, I push out. Both pelvic floor as if I wanted to pee, and the abdomen, so that I'm almost somehow pressing the lower back towards the mat. And again, up. One vertebra at a time, I go up, all the way. I take a few breaths all the way. And then down. One more time. Shake your hips a little bit. Up and down, side to side. Shake your legs. And gently come, roll to the side and come up. I'm gonna leave you here. If you feel tension in the body, make sure you address it. In the shoulders, maybe you can do some shoulder rolls. You can round the back, stretch. Shaking is also very good while standing. And then you can end this class in Shavasana, or just sitting and just observing your breath, but just natural breath. Thank you for moving with me today. This is, as I said at the beginning, this is not in the traditional yoga synergy. It was something that I added because I felt the need to address also core muscles specifically and glutes. But as you see, I use sort of the whole body as not just one muscle, one joint. It's more functional movements rather than isolations. Thank you for watching. Thank you for moving.